success. I'm your host, Chrissy Ray, and this is part 2 of our deep dive into choosing a WordPress theme for your WordPress website. If you haven't already listened to part 1, I highly recommend you go back and give that episode a listen. But let's assume that you did and jump right in. First things first, if you think you'd like to use a free theme, I do recommend going to wordpress.org/themes to look for one there instead of using the theme search built into the WordPress dashboard. That theme search is great, but you can't get all of the info about each theme from that view. But on the wordpress.org themes page, you'll find a very similar search form, and you can use that to filter by whatever criteria you want. You can view by most popular, featured, etc. And when you go to view the details about each theme, you will find a lot more info than you would in the dashboard view. So for example, you'll see when the theme's code was last updated, how many active installations it has, and also which versions of WordPress and PHP it requires. You can also find the link to the theme support forum, and you can see details of any ratings that previous users have left. All of that info can really tell you a lot about the theme. For example, I typically only use themes that have been updated in the last 6 months, and I usually prefer themes that have been updated within the last few weeks, the last month at the most. That way I know that the theme is actively updated and supported. And I'll also take a quick look at the support forum to see if questions are getting answered in a timely manner, or even if they're getting answered at all. I want to know that if I run into an issue with the theme, that it will be addressed in a reasonable amount of time. And again, this is for free themes. Premium themes, you're going to have to do a little bit more digging to see if they're well supported and if they're going to answer any questions that people have. Now, as you research your themes, I want you to make sure that the themes you put on your shortlist are mobile friendly. There's a very good chance that about half of the users that are coming to your website will be on a mobile device. And depending on who your audience is, that number could be even higher. I have a couple of clients with mobile device usage as high as 80%, which is a lot of users. And even at a lower percent, you do need to make sure that mobile users can easily use your website, because it's important not only for usability, but also for search engine optimization. Some search engines, like Google, do give preference to mobile-friendly sites. So if you want the search engines to love you, make your website mobile-friendly. The first thing to check as far as mobile friendliness is whether or not the theme is mobile responsive, which means that it looks good on any screen. You can do that by clicking the preview button on the theme details page, and then you'll see some screen size controls down in the bottom left corner of the preview. You can click on those to preview the theme at desktop, tablet, and phone resolutions. Make sure that everything is usable and looks good at each resolution. Most of the themes in the themes repository should be mobile responsive, but some do it better than others, so make sure you check. Another thing to consider about each theme is how fast a fresh installation loads. Again, this is important not only for usability, but also for SEO. If your site loads faster than a competitor that is otherwise evenly matched, your website will probably rank higher in the search engine results page. Now, checking the speed of a theme is a little bit technical, and it does require actually installing the theme. So I did make a free mini course that demonstrates a few of the popular themes, and it walks you through the basics of checking your own. You can find that mini course at websitesuccessacademy.com. And again, it's totally free, so make sure you go there, sign up, and check it out. Next, I want you to consider whether or not you need sidebars. Sidebars can be great for desktop users, but half of your audience is on mobile, which they probably are, then you might want to rethink using them. On a mobile screen, sidebars usually get pushed to the bottom, making them far less effective. And depending on how much non-sidebar content you have, many users may never even see the sidebar. So you have to really decide if you want to use them or not, and decide if using a theme with sidebars, if that's an integral part of the theme, is going to be worthwhile for your website. Now, on to accessibility. This is a huge deal. Your website should be accessible for everyone to use, and that's going to include people with disabilities. Many themes come with built-in accessibility features, so try to keep an eye out for those when you're choosing your theme. You can use the feature filter button on the WordPress theme page to find accessibility ready themes. It's a little trickier if you're looking at premium themes. You've got to just kind of dig into the documentation or the features to see if it's accessibility ready. And within the WordPress themes, the free repository, any themes that are tagged with accessibility ready, they had to pass an optional accessibility check to make sure that the menus are accessible from the keyboard, the default color contrast meets standards, the HTML structure uses semantically correct code, and several other requirements. These don't necessarily meet the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines or WCAG, but rather they meet the standards that are set by the WordPress review team. So they should make it more accessible, but they're not meeting any kind of set standard. Now let's talk a little bit more about premium or commercial themes. I mentioned them a few times in this episode and also in the previous episode. Commercial themes are themes that you pay to use. You'll typically pay an annual license fee for them, and the cost can be anywhere from around $50 to a couple of $100 per year. Some of the themes you'll find in the free WordPress theme repository have premium or pro upgrades. For example, Cadence, which is one of my favorite themes, has a pro upgrade for $129 per year. With that upgrade, you'll get access to their Pro Starter templates, plus the Pro version of their theme and their Pro Blocks plugin. You'll also get premium support, which means you are paying them to answer your questions. So you'll probably get an answer faster than you might with a free theme. Another premium theme that I like is called My Theme from BizBudding. You can't get that theme from the free WordPress theme repository, but you can go to their website, which is bizbudding.com, if you want to purchase it. If you're wondering why I like those two themes in particular, it's because they have some great starter templates and their performance is really good when you first install them. And to me, performance is super, super important. While I'm on the subject of commercial themes, I do want to mention that there's a premium marketplace called ThemeForest. You might have heard of it while you were doing your research. And while it's pretty popular, you do need to be careful with the themes that you can purchase from there. In my personal experience, the themes from ThemeForest aren't very good. While they might look nice and they look great in the demo, a lot of times they use kludgy page builders that make the site really slow. Sometimes they aren't really easy to install. They're often not easy to update. They're not easy to create new pages, so I don't really recommend them. All right, I know this was a lot, but I do hope that it helps you in your journey to find the perfect WordPress theme. That's it for this episode. I'm Chrissy Ray, and this is Website Success. Thanks for listening, and come back next time for more awesome content.